This podcast contains discussions about sensitive topics, including mental health, alcohol and substance use, as well as suicide. It may also include strong language. The viewpoints expressed by guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the hosts. Listener discretion is advised. If you or someone you know needs support, please reach out to a trusted professional or a helpline.
Twist the throttle, let it burn. Every mile's a lesson learned. Lean it hard, don't let it slide. Life's a ride we cannot hide.
Well, welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, watchers, to another episode of Twist the Throttle. This week we have Basketcase.
What's up?
BZ. Oh, bro.
Thanks a lot for coming on short notice, mate. We did have a guest that planned out, but you filled her shoes.
Yeah, she'll be back. She's coming in. She's just having some issues.
Honestly, it's no worries at all.
Ash is a long-time listener, so it would be good to actually get him on.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad. I've gone through and read some of the questions we've got.
I gave Ash a quick look before we started. He goes, "Man, you got away with words." I said, "Yeah,
Chat
ChatGPT."
for the win.
I do have to put a lot of information into it to get such good shit out of it, but yeah, not all me. So, for those who don't know, mate, who is Ash?
Honestly, nobody really.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that harshly. What I mean is that a long time ago, kind of had an epiphany where I found one of my problems was that I kept putting myself up too high. I kept thinking myself above who I was, and sat back after a while and went, well, who is me? I just kind of realized that I am me. I don't profess to be anything special, but I try to always keep that level head about things. So that's why when people ask me, how would you best describe yourself? It's like, how would you describe me? I'm not too fast. I try to be as easygoing like that as well.
A conundrum wrapped in an enigma.
I still remember the young fellow rolling up on his
Yeah,
his bike to AMX and Hoppers Crossing there, and hey, come and join us. Come for a ride.
That moment right there changed everything I would actually know. Pretty funny too, because that's sort of what led me into this whole situation as well. And it's so good to be able to come onto the podcast, be able to just to chat, have fun, talk a bunch of shit, and hopefully somebody who hears anything that comes out of this podcast gets to just kind of
resonate with it.
Yeah, resonate. That's the word. Yeah, that's the one.
So, of all the titles I could put on you, partner, dad, worker, rust nut, which one best describes you?
Definitely a father. I pride myself on trying to be the best possible father that I possibly can, because I didn't think that I was going to, let alone get to this age, but I didn't think that I was ever going to be able to call myself a father. But at the same time, I wouldn't be the father that I am if it wasn't for you boys busting my balls.
Yeah.
Again, rust nuts, man. There's so many things changed my life the day that I met you, man. And Roger.
Yeah. That's great, man. When people meet you, what do they see?
Oh, probably a shit for nothing.
No,
Nah.
Your self values should be much higher, man. Because you're there for a lot of people. You do a lot of education as well.
Yeah,
I see you a lot bigger than what you're claiming to be.
I appreciate that. I really do. A lot of the time when people first meet me, they don't really know how to take me. And honestly, I think that's hilarious. As soon as you get to know me, I always love to have a laugh. And if I can get you to laugh, then I'm happy.
Yeah.
Basically, every interaction that I have with a lot of people, they tend to always come up to me and they don't really know how to introduce themselves. They don't really know how to pick me. But a lot of the time, because I am still fairly young, but a lot of people assume that I'm just that young bloke. Yeah. Especially in the work that I'm in, where I am meeting with some pretty fancy people, pretty fancy suits. So I walk in there, whether I'm wearing rust nuts or a suit, they'll always just see that young bloke. And so I've got to rely on my words quite a bit. Yeah.
Definitely can talk, mate. That's for sure.
Articulation.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's something people get wrong about you off the bat?
That is a great question. Honestly, I never really bothered to ask. Probably they think that a lot more violent or angry than I really am. I do try to give respect where I can as well. Even just some of the things that I sent you boys were, even at the bottom, I always learned that respect really does go a long way. And I think a lot of people, when they do meet me, they just see that kind of childish look. Yeah. And they don't realize that I'm actually trying to step up and trying to actually push myself beyond that.
100%.
Yeah.
So when people ask you where you're from, what's your answer to them?
Here, there, and everywhere, honestly. I didn't stay in one place for too long. And so what my mum would eventually call free-range parenting when I would ask her. I knew where home was.
Yeah.
There was food there if it was there, if it didn't go to the dogs.
Yeah.
Christmas time was always fun.
Yep.
Just rock up suddenly and it's like, oh, where you been?
Walkabout.
Walkabout.
Absolutely.
Hey, so do you feel like you actually belong somewhere now?
Oh, yeah, dude, 100%. It was an experience coming back down after getting sober, because I spent some time in South Australia with my mum, because after my father passed away, my mum got with a really cool bloke named Simon, and he rode a Triumph Bonneville, one of my personal favorite bikes. I love those bikes. I love the industrial look of them, especially the older model. I think it was either a 2000 or a late 90s model. I can't quite remember. You know, we clicked automatically. My mother hated it. Like, we were two peas in a pod. It was funny as hell. Both of us had mohawks. Both of us loved punk rock. Yeah. And after a while of chatting, I would actually find out that my ex, who I had just split off with and really started going through that change in my life, her stepsister, Simon, was her father.
Yeah, right.
At Small World.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as we realized that, we were like, oh, okay, that's trippy as. But eventually he would write himself off. And my mother turns around to me just in probably the worst moment that she could, where she calls me up and says, hey, I need you right now, but it feels like a tread on eggshells around you. And that crushed me immediately. I couldn't have my mother feeling like that. So, I straightened up my life. I got in contact with my now partner, and we got two beautiful kids. But I called her up because I needed somebody that I could talk to, and had nobody else. So when I come back down, I met my eldest, Ashley, and changed my world entirely. Yeah.
We'll get into that a bit later, the podcast stuff, mate. We're a bike channel. We started off as bikes, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you ride?
Yamaha V-Star Classic.
It is classic. It looks really cool when it's clean.
That's why I rode it here today. There's a big storm coming. How else am I supposed to wash a bike?
You can't wash a bike. It's a dishwasher, a clothes washer. There's no bike washer.
It's a pretty easy bike to work on. I'm guessing you're learning that now. You've done a few things. I had it here and did a clutch and the oil change and whatnot. It's probably due for another one.
Yes. Yeah.
It does a lot more Ks than a lot of the bikes around here.
Yeah, it was a bit touch and go for a minute there. I always wanted to learn how to wrench my own bikes, but I've never been mechanically minded at all. I tried to learn it when I was in school, but it did me head in trying to figure out all the little bits and pieces and all the funny little things. But now that I've started really digging into it, mostly because I can't keep sending it to the mechanic.
Yeah,
I can't
you're lucky these things in your hand.
Absolutely.
Straight onto YouTube and tells you how to do it.
Absolutely.
Take the front wheel off, change the fucking oil.
That's the one.
Pull the spark plug out. Jump on YouTube, everything shows you. Oh, that's what I do.
100%.
Jeff said, can you do the oil on my bike? I went, yeah, give me 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Cool. I need this.
Yeah.
Gotta
do that.
Yeah.
So I found this bloke online called I Ride Taz. He highly recommend you watch him if you're interested in like those sort of bobber builds. But everything that he does is like on the garage or on the driveway. So he has this beautiful XVS 650 Classic that he did up. He called it Dizzy, I think it was. Beautiful peanut tank, lane splitter style, exactly the style that I want for my bike. And so I've just been absolutely running through his videos, just trying to
it's cool.
Every little detail.
As you get a bit older there, Ash, you tend not to work on the concrete anymore. You tend to have things about waist height.
I am learning
It's a lot better.
I am learning
Getting down on your knees and getting back up again takes a bit longer.
So if there was a dream bike there, Ash, what would it be?
Honestly, never really thought too much about a dream bike, let alone that I'd ever be in this position. But nowadays, if I was to have a dream bike, it'd probably be a Triumph Bonneville that is done up in a lane splitter style. If I ever had the opportunity, I would definitely be getting a shovelette or a panhead. I love the old Harley history. That's why I keep leaning towards them, not Indians. Sorry, Roger.
Nah, fuck Roger. Love you, mate. So why this bike? Why the Classic?
My dad always rode bikes. There's a lovely photo. Like, we were the cool kids that got dropped off at kinder on the bike. There'd be me on the handlebars, my sister on the back. He eventually sold that, had to get a car because we were all getting older. And then he went out and bought it. It was an 09 model. I think he picked it up in 2011. Very low Ks on it. I've smashed that out of the water.
Yeah.
But when he passed away, nobody wanted to touch it. And as soon as I turned 18, I said, that's my bike.
That's cool. I didn't realise it was your dad's bike.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That's why it's got a lot of sentimental value. So as much as I understand that it's probably not worth keeping up with, I highly rate the V-Stars.
Oh, mate, the V-Stars are
highly rated.
You saw what I did to that Nord.
Yeah.
Yours is about to come down from Queensland, I believe.
Yeah, really?
Oh,
It's coming for a ride.
that is fantastic.
It's a fucking long way.
He's done it before.
Yeah, he has too. Yeah, that's a mad run. But yeah,
As long as it has fuel in the tank, it's all right.
just piss in it.
Muzzy broke down. No, you ran out of fuel.
No, yeah, father's bike. My sister, she got her license, couldn't ride it. It was too heavy for her. My mum refused to touch it. She tried to ride it, but she just, gave her a little bit of flashbacks.
Yeah.
And I just said, look, let me have it. I need a vehicle. She said, all right, cool. If you
Cool,
can get it
good.
started, you take it. Boot it up first go. It'd been sitting there for I think 5 years at that point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Crazy bikes.
So what does riding mean to you now, though?
Now with the rust nuts, something more, something different.
Yeah.
At first it was...
It's not just transport.
Yeah, it was originally just a workhorse.
Yeah.
I've taken it off road just because of some of the areas that I've worked where I'd see a nice little lookout point, I'd go traveling up there. But
Yeah.
now with rust nuts and getting involved more with just riding with mates, it's something so different. It's almost indescribable.
Yep.
But honestly, if I had to describe it, it truly is brotherhood.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that truly comes to mind.
Now, you're one of the blokes who actually got to pick his nickname, and you went
Yeah.
with Basketcase. Where does that come from?
Green Day.
Green Day.
Yeah, Green Day Basketcase. That's why when Marzi asked, is it because of you're a fan of Green Day or is it just true? And I said, well, pick your poison.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? First time I heard that song, I giggled because it's just I feel that in my bones.
Yeah. Resonated.
Love it.
That must be the word of the day.
Oh, it must be the word of the month. The bloke that I chat to, he's all about resonance at the moment. I'm like, quartz resonance? Yeah, that's the one.
Let's all go to Nimbin and relax.
Does the nickname represent who you were or who you survived?
Honestly, I survived. I was reckless. I was melodramatic. I was completely self-destructive. And just no matter how many times somebody tried to help me or tried to pull me up, I just refused to listen.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of that reminder to myself that I may still be a bit of a basket case, but we all have to grow up eventually. But it's how you go about that. And I've unfortunately had to learn the hard way with a lot of things. And I'm just one of those silly fools that just cannot try to do it the easy way.
No.
Got to learn the hard way.
Do you still sometimes feel like that kid now?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Every day's a battle. Every day. I see something shiny and I turn around to the wife and I go, can I have?
No.
No.
What's the latest?
The
103.
Yeah, the Street Bob 103.
Street Bob,
Yeah,
that's it.
definitely liking the look of the Street Bob 103. It's mainly because I can't afford a Street Bob 114.
Go 117, mate. Can't go wrong.
Love your bike.
Oh, it's fucking wicked. You fucking cracked me up. Yeah, we went out to Southern Brotherhood's Christmas party. Was it a Christmas party?
yeah.
I'm like, Ash, I see you haven't ridden my bike, have you? He's like, nah. I said, yeah, take it for a spin. Threw him the keys. About 45 minutes later, I'm like, where the fuck is he? Has he come off? Should I go looking for him?
I honestly didn't realize that's how far
it's good,
I
man.
had gone.
No, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I said go up to the highway and give it a good splurt.
Yeah.
Just didn't realise the highway was 45 minutes away.
It doesn't feel like 45 minutes when you're on that bike.
No,
You just
nothing
woof.
does. I love that thing.
Oh, it's so good.
So going back to childhood, mate.
Mm.
Yeah, you got this one. Sorry,
You've
mate.
got it. No, you're right.
Yeah.
We share this, mate.
I just take
It's a
over lot.
50-50,
I take
and,
it.
and all of a sudden, hang on.
All of a sudden,
Jeff
everybody's sitting there going,
Jeff's
"Shut
done
the
like
fuck up."
fucking 6 questions. I go, I better chip in here because I don't do or
I get it. You said you don't remember much of growing up, mate. What do you remember?
Smashed dishes, violence, yelling, very much broken home, like from what I sent you there, it was very much just skipping over a lot of details there. The hard and fast of it is that my father was a pretty good bloke, but a terrible father.
Yeah.
All of his brothers and all of his family would talk about how he was the person you could rely on. If your fence broke, he'd be there in a heartbeat. If you had problems, he was the one to deal with it. And me and him never talked. I think as a kid, I was just a rough guts kid. And I was always getting into mischief. And I found out that my father had a bit of a name for himself as well. And clearly it didn't rub off on me. But how he taught me my please and thank yous was listen or else. If you didn't eat the food that was on your plate, then your
you
plate
went hungry.
Yeah, not even when hungry, your plate disappeared. There's a lot there, but also me and my sister used to fight. We had DHS called on us so many times. She pushed me out a window. I hit her in the face with a garden rake. So it was kind of that tick for tack thing. And it wasn't until I got older, I asked her what even happened with that, because I don't remember. She's like, how do you not remember? You literally trashed everything, and the only way to stop you was to literally pin you down. I ended up pushing you so hard you fell through the window. You grabbed the garden rake and smacked me with it. I was like, I don't remember none of that.
Yeah, blackout rage. That's
I wouldn't have a clue.
scary place to be. I've seen kids do that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, they're like fucking doodle-doodle-doo, fucking.
ADHD thing as well.
Yeah.
It's all
Apparently, yeah.
all mood regulation.
Yeah, apparently. You know,
Amber's like, shut the fuck up about it.
Fucking, it's like my survey chat.
I look
It's relevant to some of these guys, though.
Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, a lot of people are more aware of what the traits were back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I never had it. I remember snorting Ritalin for fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
People needed it. I didn't.
Yeah.
It was an upper for me.
Yeah.
Definitely not for me.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up becoming very popular in school. I got prescribed Ritalin.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the term study buddy until that day.
So growing up in that environment, it was a bit of a broken home.
Yeah.
Energy in home, not real great. Were you scared growing up?
Oh, shit, yeah. Yeah.
But we'll go back step. You know, you said your dad. Was it alcohol induced or was it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's why I get so concerned when I see people heavily drink, you know. I'll always give it that, like, grace period, you know, but I try not to be personal about it either, but it's what made me go sober. But, you know, he would slam through easily 2 slabs.
Yeah.
Like, no worries at all. There was always alcohol in the house. He was always drinking, chain smoker. You know, and I would later in life figure out that there was other reasons why, you know, but that took a bit to get out of him.
Yeah.
But basically, you couldn't go near him if he was drinking. If you ran out of smokes, Lord help you. If you stepped wrong when he was in a mood, that was the end of you. So, like, there was a bit of touch and go. Hence why, you know, when my mum said she treading on eggshells around me, it broke me.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
I didn't want to relive in that stuff, but to kind of really put it into a nutshell, I had my older brother and my older sister who kind of sheltered me quite a bit from the wrath of it. But once I got older, I ended up copping the wrath of it as well. So lots of broken plates. Like if the dishes weren't done, they got smashed. If the dogs were barking, they'd get yelling at. We did have a cat, but eventually, like, Dad got so sick of it one day. I remember he jumped up on the bed. My dad was just having a moment and just fucking, I watched the thing get booted to the roof.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Was there moments of love there from mum and dad?
Yeah, I think my mum was more just complacent with a lot of that stuff. She still to this day doesn't really open up too much about it. It's a really sore topic for her. But my dad, you know, if genuinely there was trouble and genuinely needed me, then he would 100% be there. And, you know, stuff like that was ebb and flow. But, you know, there was a lot that was happening. Yeah.
So when everything felt loud at home or unstable, where did you go?
Oh, everywhere, man. Yeah. Everywhere. That's why I honestly tell people, I grew up here, there, and everywhere. You know, if my mom would be like, oh, you wait till your dad gets home, I'd be like, bye.
Yeah.
I'm out, and you ain't going to see me for the next 3 days. And no, they figured out where I was going after a little while. My parents are pretty smart, and I figured that out these days, too.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I had that conversation with my daughter recently. She's like, I used to think I was so smart at coming up with excuses and stuff, and I'm like, we were just like, okay. Like, we can't be bothered dealing with that. Sure, that's what happened. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm having the same conversation with Ashley at the moment as well. Like, she's very cluey, and I've gotten very lucky with her, where she's just like, you won't let me get away with that. I'm like,
yeah.
I'd just fucking ride around town, go through all the paddocks and all the farmers' paddocks and all that other stuff, because I grew up in a rural town. I was just outside Broadmeadows. Early 2000s, man, you can go anywhere you wanted then. Jumped on V-line trains, just pissed off wherever I could. There was one moment where I got shipped off to live with my uncle because my mother just had enough of me, wasn't mischief. I ended up getting home. So I was just kind of here, there, and everywhere, anywhere I wanted to go. Then I got a pit bike that was confiscated very quickly.
So you've always been on bikes, push bikes, motorbikes, pit bikes.
That's the one, yeah.
What did bikes give you that nothing else could?
Through an absolute freedom. Anytime. It was just go for a ride. You know, train tracks to the local BMX track. That's actually why I started racing BMX. A friend of mine, he had a red line BMX and he was getting sponsored and everything. So me and him would just always be riding. You know, he was a pretty cool bloke, but I think after a while, we just very much drifted apart. I haven't talked to him in, God, be like 20 years. Yeah.
So when you're out riding, was that your clear space as well? You say you used to ride around heaps back then?
Yeah.
You know, I did a lot of riding back when I was a kid as well, yeah, because I lived kind of out away from everybody else. I was out in the country as well. So everywhere I, wake up early on a Saturday morning and ride off to my mate's place, banging on the door. Can he come out and play?
Yeah.
No telephones back then.
Oh, well, absolutely. That's exactly right.
Was your mate calling the phone at fucking 8 in the morning on Saturday? Fuck, I'll just ride over and knock on his bedroom door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was playing footy. I was doing boxing. I did the Weet-Bix triathlon at one point. I used to be mad athletic until I stopped. Tiff hates me for that because it was like the year before I met her, I stopped training. So she never got to see the athlete. Yeah, if there was any troubles with my brother, jump on the bike. If there was any troubles with my sister, jump on the bike. If there was any troubles going home, just anywhere. And like I said, eventually they figured out where I was going. Like I wasn't pissing off.
Going too far.
Yeah, too ridiculous,
A bit of couch surfing.
Yeah, heaps of couch surfing. Squats. Before they got knocked down, there was the Collingwood Flats. Again, my father found out about that, and it was hilarious because he looks at me and goes, "Oh, wait, those flats?" I go, "Yeah, those flats." He's like, "I used to live there." Oh, fucking small world. Yeah, so...
So you said your dad was a good bloke, but not a good father. What do you mean by that exactly?
So he was...
He'd help you in a heartbeat, I'm guessing.
Yeah, if you genuinely were in trouble and you were genuinely needing help, he would be there flat, and he would plow through any person that got in his way. And I've picked up on that as well. So I try to do the same for my kids, just obviously on the better side of things. But as a father, it's like when the bullying started when I was younger and eventually led to my expulsion from school, he didn't believe me. He'd be like, "Oh, why didn't you do this and that?" And I said, "Well, because I don't want to be violent. I shouldn't have to beat them up to make you proud." And that's what ended up into our first sort of blue, where I went off at him. I was so tired of constantly justifying every little thing that I did. And that was kind of that moment where I realized that there's a very big difference between being present and being a father. And I had met with other mates, and at that point I was hanging out with Tiff, my partner, and her dad's a true blue. He never judged me. It was, "Hey, you're hungry? We're whipping up some pancakes.
Come over,
yeah." And I got so used to if you weren't there when they hit the table, that when he pulled them out of the fridge and started reheating them, I cried. I had never had that moment in my entire life. And that was when I was, I think, like 15. So, they were,
different.
Good bloke. Very terrible dad. Yeah.
So later on in life, you learned that your dad had been through some shit. Hoddle Street.
Yeah, the Hoddle Street massacre.
What was that? What happened there?
So his first wife, Tracy, was one of the first shot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I have another older brother.
Hoddle Street. This is going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
80s.
I think 86.
Yeah.
Yeah, late 80s for sure.
Yeah.
That's traumatic, isn't it?
Yeah. So, funnily enough, how I even found out about it was the 25th anniversary was on TV, and I had never seen my father just become so low. Like, there was a physical shift in his entire stance, and he walked into the room and didn't say anything. My mother was the one to come up to me and go, "Leave your dad alone."
Yeah.
And I said, "I don't understand what's going on." That's when she said to me, "If you watch this, just know that you're going to learn some things about your father." And I didn't really understand until, like, it said Tracy, and I saw that family name, and I realized that was his first wife.
Yep.
Because he had always mentioned a previous marriage, and this was like old days where he was punching up with coppers and everything like that. And eventually the special would end, and I would do my own research, and I would actually find the audio recording and the interview statement from the servo station where the first responder found my dad just absolutely wailing in pain, going after the shooter. And first responder stopped him and reminded him, "Hey, you've got a baby in the car. Let's check over your baby first." And he's just screaming out, "She's dead, she's dead, she's dead." When I heard that, and when I read through the statement, I waited till my dad was obviously calm, and I asked him, "Is this why you don't celebrate your birthday?" because after talking with my mom and saying, hey, look, if I bring this up with Dad, is he going to pummel the crap out of me? She said, no, just know that it's either going to be a conversation or it's not.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, this is why we don't celebrate my birthday. And he explained to me that his birthday was around that time, and they had just finished celebrating his birthday dinner that night.
Oh, well, yeah.
And he heard the gunshots because he was a paratrooper. He put her head down to protect from the windscreen. But that was, the bullet came through the front of the car, bounced up. And the only thing he said was, instead of losing 2 lives, he only lost 1. But that was pretty much it. He refused to talk anymore about that. So when the news crew came around for, interviewing people, because apparently the fella was supposed to be released, my father immediately turned around to the news reporter and said, you got 10 seconds to walk away, because if that guy comes out, you're going to have another killer on your hands. Like, he clearly resented that person.
Yeah.
And it was pretty brutal finding that out. And, that isn't to justify the stuff that he, with our family, what led to that, why he was so hard on me and my brother and everything like that. It was more like, wow,
He's been through some shit himself.
He's been through some horrible shit.
Yeah.
So does understanding someone's trauma make forgiveness easier or more complicated for you?
It made it a hell of a lot more complicated, I'll tell you that. For me, with him, we just had a really horrible dynamic. We could never see eye to eye with each other.
Yep.
But it did put a lot of things into perspective. It really made me understand why he was strict about certain things and very loose about certain things. When we're just hanging around and when we're just having a bit of fun, he was like, yeah, just jump on the bike, whip around. There's a whole paddock to run around in. Go nuts. If you fall off, come back. If you break it, we fix it. But other things where if my sister was going into the city, he was immediately, where's your phone? Give me a call. Anything happens, you let me know.
Yeah.
And that
Makes sense.
Yeah, it made sense. So when I got my phone and I was starting to go into the city, he had the exact same response to me, which again was such a confusing experience, because it's just like, oh,
He's willing to give control when he's
In the area.
but when you're going outside the area, he doesn't have control, so he needs that control.
it was a very interesting dynamic within that respect. So, it's something that I never actually received closure on, because he would pass away before we ever really had a full conversation.
How did he pass away?
Tachycardiac arrhythmia.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he was driving a truck. He was a crane truck. So I think he was on his way back from New South Wales or something. It made the news, which of course it did. He always said if he was going to go out, it'll be in a blaze of glory. And true to his credit, the week before, and true poetic irony, I feel, the week before he passed, we were celebrating my mother's birthday.
Yeah.
And it was the first time we actually just had a conversation. Both of us like yumming down cigarettes whilst we're trying to like avoid security at Werribee Zoo. My mother yelling at the both of us saying, I swear to God, if you get us both kicked out and both going to be in trouble, me and Dad having a laugh. And it's like the first time we ever really saw eye to eye and had a conversation. And I get the phone call like not even 2-3 days later saying, hey, Dad's in the hospital. He's just had a heart attack. And again, like I didn't think it was going to hurt me so much, but it really did.
Yeah.
Just finally started connecting with this bloke, and I was so angry, so upset. And then he go ahead and do this to me, bastard. But, seeing him in the hospital and like everything like that, it was like, it was hard because me and my sister were the ones that had to make the call, because the doctors explained to us that they were pumping his lungs, they were pumping his heart, they were doing all these things. And the one thing he said to us was never allow him to be in that position. He was aware of his health. He was aware that if he ended up like that, there was no coming back. And basically, my mother just would not communicate to anybody. And me and my sister looked at each other and we said everything that he told us was if he was ever in this position, if he ever came out of this and he was a vegetable or in a wheelchair, he would want us to pull the plug. He made that vividly clear. And so we had to make that call. And it was hard to watch. It really was. This weight lifted off me. It was an awful feeling, being like, which is finally dead.
Yeah.
I don't have to carry that with me. But I look now, it's been a long time now. I think it was like 2015, I think it was. Not too sure. I honestly didn't pay that much attention to the date.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at it now and I go, I wonder if he'd be proud of seeing where I've come to now.
The next question is saying, what if he was still here? What would you say? What would you say to him now?
What conversation do you wish you could have had with him?
Honestly, just to have a conversation, just in general, just to have a conversation without it blowing up into a fight.
Yeah.
I do hope that he is proud of me. And the question that I would be asking is, out of where I've come from to where we are now, what would be that reaction from him?
You'd love your kids too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And time does change a lot of people.
Oh, like I said, horrible father to me, but great person.
Yeah. Mate, you've got Aboriginal heritage.
Yeah,
You kind of grew up being told not to talk about it.
Yep.
How did that go? Why were you told to keep it quiet?
It's actually something that I talk about when I'm out and about with people, because it's one of the questions that they always ask is, how do you get you? And I explain to them a little bit about, what happened with my nan and my mum. But basically growing up, it was out of fear based off of what my mum got brought up with. So my mum, she blessed with the olive complexion. How you get me is I inherited the Scottish half, which, I lucked out there, I guess. But basically, come home, and because me and my sister, we were connected within community. My mother was working as, I think it was a First Nations liaison officer in Centrelink or something like that, like the person that actually helps get people onto the system. And so it kind of always been there. So when I started riding bikes with this mate, as soon as he found out about my Aboriginal heritage, that was it. It just kind of like really split it off.
Yeah.
I was confused at first, and then school found out naturally. My mum didn't like picking us up from the school for that reason, because she knew that she looked Indigenous.
Yeah.
And that was something based off her nan as well. She always told us, don't go telling everybody, And that was out of fear of what was happening with her and my nan. Because my nan's first child was taken by the same nurses that she considered friends. Yeah. And that was way back in the days of the early 1920s. And so, there was a lot of touch and go for a while there, but it wasn't until I got older did I really understand what was actually going on, like all the laws and all the history and all the other things there. But growing up, the flag was always next to my nan's ashes. And I would ask my mum, why do we have two flags? And she goes, well, this one's the country we live in. This is Australia. You should be proud of that flag. That one, that's our flag. That's for us. And that's when you see somebody flying that flag, you can trust them. They're somebody that you can go talk to and learn about who you are and your heritage. That kind of always stuck with me. And so I became quite proud. I rocked up to school one day, and kids turn around and they're just like, oh, go home, you abo cunt.
Yeah.
And
I'm here, mate.
Yeah. And
ignorance.
See, in my mind, I had the exact same reaction as, aren't I already home? What do you mean? And the only thing, next thing I'm being like kicked in the head or something like that. I genuinely don't remember, but that was kind of the start of the bullying problem. What led from there
and
was
the school did nothing about this.
The only thing that the school did was when like NAIDOC week, I think it was, came around, because me and my sister knew language and stories and all that other stuff. They asked us to do it.
They'd make you to fucking do it. And
all of a sudden you're a hero.
That's the one, right? And that's when everybody found out. And a good mate of mine that I had grown up with since I was probably knee high, we had known each other. I thought he was one of my best mates. He finds out about that and he just didn't want to borrow me. And so I went, you know what? I'm not going to tell anybody. And long and behold, 2015, 2016 rocks around, and all of a sudden I start seeing people kind of shift in that attitude. And I thought, oh, okay, I guess people do want to know. Maybe I just had really shit friends. And no, not exactly. It's still...
So did you grew up learning about all the old country stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your mum was teaching you about it as well, yeah?
So men's business and women's business, the way my mum said was, if that you want to learn, you got to speak to the uncles. You got to speak to the old, to the old men. They're the ones that can teach you. But my mum always encouraged it. When we were at home, she'd kind of explain to me simple things. Like when you had a really bad stuffy congestion nose, right, and you do the tea-towel trick. Yeah, my mum wouldn't just grab like heaps of Vicks Vapor Rub. She would actually like tell me about the eucalyptus and tell me about, you know, why the eucalyptus is good for you. But again, it was never put on a pedestal. It wasn't, oh, we Aborigines did this and we, you know, Indigenous people did this. It was, no,
Just,
medicine.
it's just old knowledge.
It's just medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that was hilarious because I do that with my kids now, where I'll have a blocked nose first thing in the morning. And as we're walking to school, I'll pluck a leaf from the gum tree, crush it up into my hand, and just freaking smell it. And now Luna's doing that too. Like when she's got a stuffy nose.
Your little shadow.
I would say so, absolutely. Oh, she's giving it back to me tenfold, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just medicines the old ways. Learning the dances, I grew up learning the stories. I was the token white boy in amongst my community and friend group.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Can you talk us about taking a knife to school? You remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, man. That was the defining moment in my life. So this was off the back of being told that I wasn't good enough. You know, the bullying that was happening as well. They said that they were going to bash me after school for being an Aborigine. And I went, you know what? Screw you guys. You want to push this limit? We're going to push this limit. And this is...
How old were you at this age, Lord? 10?
Oh, this
12?
was grade 5. So I was probably like 11.
Yeah.
11, 12-ish probably.
Yep. I'm guessing you weren't a very big fella,
No, I was tiny, man. I was a skinny little thing.
so I can understand a knife would be
Yeah.
kind of like having a 6-foot man beside you, yeah?
Well, basically, at the same time, knives weren't taught to me as weapons, like they were tools and everything like that.
Yeah.
So,
Obviously, the teachers frowned upon that one.
oh yeah, absolutely. So, basically, I just had enough of my father. I was angry. I was stupid as well. Like, facts be facts. This was a really dumb decision. But I took big-ass kitchen blade, one of those big, like, the ones that...
Carving knife.
Yeah, I think they're the ones, you know, just the biggest one I could grab, basically.
Yeah.
I've stuffed it into my bag, and I told one person what my plans were because he knew the bullies. And I said that if they try this, this is what's going to happen. They've gone ahead and told the principal.
Yeah.
Of course, naturally, like kids being kids.
Snitches
They-
get stitches.
Well, that's, yeah.
It's probably a good thing, bud, because
Yeah, that's basically it. At that point, I was just so frustrated and angry with so many people in the world.
so they went and they searched your locker, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yep, found it, and they said, "What's in the bag?" And I said, "A great big bloody knife." What more do you want me to say? And I've pulled it out right in front of them, and they said, "What were your intentions?" And I said, "To stab the 3 of them." And they were like, "Well, we can't have that." And I was expelled formally, and I think at that time too, I was also asked to. I think it was either my parents were told that I had to go sit down with a child psychologist, or it was for like family stuff as well. I remember pulling this thing out and just mad smile on my face. Like I had every intentions of doing this. And you know, when that stuff happens, you know, obviously alarm bells get raised, and I was politely asked to not attend any school in Victoria.
So you feel like you had no other option, though, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, it wasn't so much any other option. It was like, what was the most violent option I could possibly choose?
So they were full-on fucking bullying you at that stage, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I barely remember it. There's people that came up to me later in life, like once I was like 16, 17, they're like, "Oh yeah, we remember you from school. You know, we remember you did this and you did that." I was like, I don't remember none of that. I barely remember my primary school years, but I remember grade 5, I was just so done with them that, you know, next step, I'll make them fear for their lives if I have to. Yeah, father wasn't too happy about that.
So you reached a breaking point where you ended up standing over your dad with a knife while he slept.
Yep.
How long in between school and that incident was there?
It was after, so obviously my mum got the phone call about me getting expelled from school, and
Same time frame?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was like a day or two later.
Yeah.
My dad came flying home, finished work, threw me through the lounge room, threw me through the hallway door, threw me through my bedroom door, slammed the door. I tried to get out the window as quick as I could just to fucking get out of there. And I just see it, the freaking door gets, I don't know if it was kicked off the hinges or he just body slammed it off the hinges. I really don't know. I wasn't looking. And I tried to climb out the window, but like the next night or two, I just could not sleep. I was devising a plan to get out of this house. And I remembered the knife, and I just thought, what if? So I just stood there. And I actually think about this moment quite a lot in my life. It's one of those things that I always lament that I even went to that point. And it's just like, that's how child killers are born. And I was pushed to that point. And it's like, when you reflect when you're older and go, holy crap, that was the breaking point. And I thought to myself, what if I did this? Would mum be upset? What would happen to my sister? What would happen to me? Well, I'd get locked up. But for how long? I'm a kid. It's like just that mental warfare started happening. And eventually I just put the knife down and went back to bed. And I never told him. And again, it wasn't until I got sober that I even explained that to my mum, that I said, look,
This was the situation.
This was the situation between me and Dad. She's like, I never saw it. I said, well, whether or not you didn't see it, it was right in front of your face. Like, this is how bad it was getting. And so...
So I'm guessing that really traumatized you, and it says in the next question here, the next day you decided to make yourself a noose.
So I knew the reaction from my dad after pretty much flogging the crap out of me. It was either you go to work or you make something of yourself.
Yeah.
Basically, right?
You can understand now, though, but from his perspective, what you'd have just done.
He was fuming. Yeah, exactly.
You've just been expelled from school. You can't go to school anymore. You're fucking...
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And
I'm guessing, he's probably voiced that as well. So you're in a pretty low place as well.
Yeah, so he basically said that I've done everything I could for you.
Yeah.
Don't talk to us. Remove yourself from the house. Be gone with you. I'm done with you. You're good for nothing. There was no support from anybody else. I had no friends at that point, and tied myself a really shitty noose. Went out into the garden shed that I'd built, basically, just like a little getaway spot. And it's when I realized kind of two things. One, asphyxiation sucks. Like, it's painful as hell. But as that slipped, that gasp of air that happens is like a physical reaction. In my head, it was, this is either going to happen or it's not. And would he care that I even died? If he came out to see my body, I want him to see my body. I want him to feel this pain. And so much anger, just so much anger and violence in my head at the time. And after it slipped, nobody was home. I was being homeschooled at that point. I just walked inside. I don't know who found the noose. When I came out to clean it up, it was gone. I think my sister might have found it. Not too sure. She's kind of, like, in passing alluded to, like, she knew what was going on. Yeah.
So in the Aboriginal culture, do you have, like, gods and stuff as well?
Not so much like gods, but more like ancestral spirit beings. So, like, people that have walked before you walked.
Yep.
So there's no almighty deity.
Can you kind of, like, things didn't happen because of a greater being, it wasn't your time, you're here for a bigger purpose?
No, none of that,
type
man.
thing?
No.
You don't really get that feeling from it?
None at all. I thought to myself, well, shit, that didn't work. Try again.
Yeah.
And the next time I tried to drown myself, that didn't work. And, like, it was just one after the other. And, yeah, I just started looking for ways to hurt myself.
When did you actually find help for...
I never really did. It wasn't until I actually found Headspace.
Yep.
And at the same time, I had this kind of ego about me being like, I couldn't give a shit. I'm just here because you've got services and you got food and water and I can link into this and do what I want. It really wasn't until I actually met you guys is when all of that shifted.
Yep.
It's been a process over the last, 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've got a lot more to live for now.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You're there and you're helping everybody else learn things about your culture and whatnot now, and
Yeah.
you got kids to be there for as well.
Yeah.
Bigger outlook life now.
This is around about the point that you discovered G.G. Allen and the live fast, die young mentality.
Fell heavy into punk rock.
Yeah.
So, father used to listen to a lot of Metallica, a lot of thrash metal, Slayer and stuff like that. My mother was into Elton John, Prince. So music was kind of always a part of my life, right?
Yeah.
So when I was looking for something more hardcore, you know, because I just wasn't a huge fan of Metallica. I know that hurts so many people, but like I love.
It's good, but there's better.
I love Megadeth.
Yep.
And I love Slayer. And then I found Cannibal Corpse. And then I fell in love with like hardcore punk rock. So when I came across G.G. Allen, I was like, this dude's the shit. He's fucking punching on with people on stage. He's got blood nose. He's shitting and pissing on people. It's like, that's hilarious. Apparently nobody else feels the same way.
No.
And I sit there and go, that man's a genius.
Yeah.
I saw an album cover.
You're right about the age where CKY and
Yeah.
Bam and Jackass and all that was like just hitting its peak when you were
One,
around the same
yeah.
age, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I fucking love Jackass.
But that's G.G. Allen was
Yeah.
part of all that.
100%, man.
Tied it in.
And just, yeah,
So that got you into going down the path of Jason, Valium,
everything, man.
speed,
Everything.
whatever you can get your hands
Yeah.
on.
Used to have a lot of butane.
Yeah.
Not just
Nangs, yeah.
not Nangs actually. So we got the lighter, the actual lighter refills, and we just huffed the crap out of that until I realized that I couldn't like think. I still don't know how much damage I've done to my brain because of that. Started smoking shitloads of weed. What came next? Like I was stealing the alcohol out of my father's cabinet by the time I was 9 years old, and you know I was that cool kid that went to school with alcohol.
I was that cool kid too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was fucking stupid.
yeah, it is. It's
The friends you made were not the good ones.
yeah, that's basically it, you know. And all it took was that one kid to just not be able to keep their mouth shut.
I think that was my mum's biggest shock in her life was when she found out I didn't fall in with the bad crowd. I wasn't the bad crowd.
Yeah,
I was the best.
yeah.
Your liquor
Yeah,
cabinet up
yeah.
above the microwave was
Yeah.
raided many a time.
Many times, yeah.
That old bottle of scotch that you have open is actually tea.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah.
So
What were you trying to numb with all the drugs?
everything, man. You know, if I got prescribed with Ritalin after the psych evaluation and ended up finding my high school years in Northlands. I ended up only staying for like part way through year 9. Like first year into year 9, I went, you know what, fuck this, I'm out. But yeah, it was abusing my Ritalin tablets just because I could, just for the shits and giggles of it, really. Drinking lots. I had a bunch of friends that would, I say friends, but that's because like they're good people, you know. I still would regard them as good people, good friends, and I hope they're doing well in life. But, you know, they come up to me and be like, here, have this. I'll be like, oh, okay. Oh.
Did you realise you could OD on some of the stuff? Yeah. Did you really care?
Yeah, codeine was the one that I really took quite a tasting to.
Yeah, the ex used to have a problem with codeine.
Yeah. I never really got too heavy into the opioids or painkillers or anything like that, just because it was harder to get. Like, unless you knew somebody that had a prescription for stronger opiates. That's how I ended up getting onto the Valium, because a friend of a friend just had a really strong prescription for Valium because something with their leg or something like that. And so every time I'd see them, it was like 25 milligrams. And on one night, we ended up having like 4 of those, and everybody else was KO'd. And I'm sitting there going, wee. The codeine, because this was before they changed the laws where it had to be over the counter.
Yeah.
So that's actually why we're not allowed to have codeine tablets at home. So the cold night and day flu tablets, only Tiff knows where that is, because I just love the taste of it. It's sweet. It makes me feel numb.
The memory.
Yeah.
So how deep did it actually go?
Pretty bad, yeah. I turned into a right royal rat of a person. Had my head caved in multiple times. I was so self-destructive. Like, I genuinely could not care, you know, whether I had hurt somebody or whether I had done something, because I genuinely could not remember what I was doing the day before.
Were you holding down jobs?
I just became a city kid.
Yeah.
You know, I started hanging around in the city, started drinking heaps, just bumming from people, became just a real sleazy prick of a person.
Yeah.
And people had tried to warn me constantly. I just could not care less. I had that much of an ego about me. Basically, people just kept handing me free shit. We got pretty good at thieving bottles. You know, we got banned from multiple shopping centers, like, what is it? The Q shopping center or whatever it is in the city. Yeah, we got banned from there. I don't know if it was a lifetime ban. We just got told, don't bloody come back.
Yeah.
Banned from Burwood as well. There's a few places, right, where we were just those kids. That's why when I see a lot of the kids that are running around now, I go, nostalgia.
Oh, my daughter days.
Yeah. Did many of your mates not make it through that stage?
You know, when meth hit the scene, that's when I just saw so many people screwing each other over.
Yeah.
Like, it no longer was about pub crawls and punk rock. It now became about, like, how hardcore can you be? And at first it was like, okay, cool. Go ahead, you guys, go do that. I'll be over here. And then, you know, I heard about something that had happened where the next day they were shaking hands with each other, and it's just like, but you literally just dragged and beat the crap out of that person, and you're shaking their hands like your best friends. That is not what friends do. And that kind of like tipped my vision a little bit, where I went, is this really the life I want to lead? And that was all by the time I was like maybe 14, 15. And randomly walked into an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, and bloke there turns around to me and says, you know, how old are you? I said, oh, well, fucking stop counting, mate. I think it's my 15th coming up. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? I explained to him what was going on. And he's like, is this really where you want to be? Do you really want to be sitting here listening to us tell our shitty stories? You fucking kid, mate. Go home. And I did. I literally walked home that day. But like, this is between like drunken misanthropic adventures, like, you know, 3 a.m. walking down train tracks, you know, between like freight hopping or like, you know, all the random shit that we were doing. And it happened so quick. But the problem is that like, you know, Tiff would turn around to me being like, hey, do you remember that day we went to St. Kilda? I was like, fucking nope.
Yeah.
Or it's like, was I conscious? And she's like, yeah, here's a photo of you. And I'm looking at that going, I look dazed. And yeah, just really trippy shit. A couple of people that she was friends with who had seen me at that time, they had come up to me after I got back with Tiff and said, hey, like, we're so glad to see you sobered up. Like, you were a fucking foul kid, man. Like, none of us liked you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, was it really that bad? Like, it was really that bad. Like, you really should have cleaned up.
It's a bit of a wake-up call when somebody says that to you, too.
Oh, it's such a wake-up
Fuck,
call.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I had to learn this stuff the hard way. There was no easy way
Burnt
out.
friendships and...
So bad, yeah.
So what was your lowest point?
Looking at doing heroin was my lowest point. A friend of mine who was on the methadone program, she looks at me and she goes, hey, do you want to try some? Like, oh, maybe.
I was lucky.
That's the line.
Yeah, and so that was actually when I realized I'll do everything so long as I don't shoot it up. And she was like, oh, okay, fine. Well, don't mind me. I'm going to relax back. And I was like, okay. And just kind of like watching that right in front of my face was just like, oh, okay, so here's the line.
Yeah. Well, there it is.
I didn't realize I had one of those. And that's kind of where I saw how far the bottom of the barrel really goes. There's being stupid, naive, just irresponsible drug addict. Then there's like actual drug addiction. And you know, at that point too, I had just broken off with Tiff for the first time because I was going down that path. And I did not want to be dragging her with me. Like,
Let's go back to meeting Tiff.
Yeah.
So you said you met Tiff at 15?
Yeah, 15, yeah.
What did she see in you when you were this shithead of a kid? Yeah.
I got no fucking clue, man. So I had a bright fucking red mohawk. And apparently we had met before when there was this mutual friend of friends who invited me out to this place. I rock up and like it's some random freaking kids rave or some shit. I'm like, I'm going to the pub.
Yeah.
Peace. And that's where I found out you don't need a parent to check in, but you need a parent to check out. I'm like, oh, fuck, so I guess I'm stuck here then. That's when Tiff comes up to me and goes, hey, my dad's here. He's happy to sign you out. I was like, you're awesome. Thank you. Did you need a ride home? I was like, no, I'm good. I appreciate it, though. I think like 6 or like half a year later, I'm hanging out with my mate who happens to be her mate as well. And we had just finished nicking from the $2 shop. Just a couple of party poppers and like random bits of candy bars and shit. Bump into her and she's like, I know you. I'm like, I know you. And we just
clicked from that.
Yeah, best of friends. We didn't actually start dating until somebody turns around to us and goes, you guys would make a good couple.
Why aren't you dating?
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
Oh, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like we just love hanging out.
Maybe we should.
And the relationship was never bad. It's just I ended up getting so heavily involved with a bunch of shit, and I saw the life that she was coming to because my sister's 18th birthday comes around and she gets invited, and my sister's fucking blind, drunk, runs out the house butt naked and all this other stuff. Tiff's dad pulls up to come pick her up, sees this happen. There's me at the side of the window there looking at him going, welcome to the family. And without hesitation, It was just such a clear, genuine moment. He looks at me and goes, "My door's always open for you. If you ever need help, always open. Just come knock." And like probably the next week I did. And I said, "Hey, I need a place to crash." My head hit the pillow. I didn't wake up for 3 days.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Tiff remembers it. She went to school, came home. I was still asleep.
Wow.
I was like, "Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Must have needed to sleep."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man.
Meeting Tiff's dad.
Yeah.
What was that like? First male that didn't actually judge you?
Yeah, I didn't anything, you know? Like, it struck me, like, right to my core. Because they started getting concerned when I wasn't waking up. And Tiff wanted to wake me up. And so, apparently, Dad comes in and goes, "Hey, we're cooking up some pancakes. Do you want some pancakes?" I can barely comprehend my own consciousness at that point, but all I heard was pancakes. I was like, hell yeah, I want some pancakes. It's like, okay, cool. When you get up, you can have some pancakes. And in my brain, I'm sitting there going, shit, I got like 5 minutes to get to the table then. I can't feel my bones. I cannot feel my body. I don't even know where I am, but all I know is there's people offering me pancakes. Consciousness eventually kicks in, but it's like an hour or two later. And come out and it's just like, oh, the pancake's still there. And he opens up the fridge, pulls them out. I'm like, what the fuck is this? You mean you saved me a plate? You hungry? Yeah. We said we're making pancakes. Of course we saved you a plate. And it's just like, I had no idea how to react.
So I'm guessing you feel like you didn't really deserve this.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it was kind of a bit of a reward.
Yeah. I felt like I was a bit of a leech, a bit of a lowlife.
Yeah.
And I said to him, you didn't have to do that. And he's just like, you're Tiff's friend.
Yep.
And that's when he confided in me in saying that I don't know you as well as I would like to.
But my daughter likes you, so guess what, mate?
No, actually. It was one of those proper, like,
Yeah,
like man
talk.
yeah, where he said that I don't need to know what's going on in your family life, but I see it. So,
Yeah.
just don't feel like you need to be standoffish around us. You know, if you want to watch some TV, watch some TV. If you want to just hang back, hang back. And I said, any chance you can buy me a pack of cigarettes? He was like, you got money? I was like, yes. And he nicked up to the shop and got me a cigarette. And that's when I found out that the reason why he quit smoking is because his lung collapsed. So it's like, as much as he doesn't smoke, happy to get me a packet of smokes. I was like, you're a legend. He said, 2 rules. Don't trash my place and just be respectful, please. But there's always going to be a plate at the table for you. And like, I just, still to this day, it was like those little defining moments in my life. Yeah.
So what did you learn in that time?
Oh, so much, man. So much. I learned that respect isn't just like one thing. It can mean multiple things. It can be just simply like reaching into your pocket to help somebody else out and not judging them based off the response. You know, it doesn't take... You don't need to move mountains just to be a good person. And, you know, that's what I'm really starting to understand these days, especially being a father and now being in this position too. And like having my father-in-law getting to that age now where I'm having to tell him, if you need to get up on the gutters, you bloody call me. I'll be there in a heartbeat. And Tiff's really been drilling it into me, going like, think about where you came from. Think about what it was like 15 years ago. Think about what it is now. You're such a different person. You just don't forget that there are people here for you now. You don't need to constantly have your back up against the wall, feeling like you got to fight every single day. And very much learned, like, the hardest lesson for me to learn was just to say hello, you know, just to say good day. And like that was when I met you guys.
Yep.
You know, Tiff turns around to me and says, "Why don't you find somebody to ride with? You used to ride all the time." That's the only time I ever saw you truly happy was when you were on the bike, and it didn't matter if there was 3 or 4 of yous or if it was just the 2 of yous riding together. You were always happy on the bike. That's when, because I hated social
The
media.
heavens alive. We met each other, mate.
Oh,
So
dude.
during that time though, mate, you and Tiff drifted apart. What caused the drift at that point? Just not being out. You're right, mate. You're right.
Quite literally turned around to her and I said that I can't do this to you.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be doing this and have it affect you. Like, I don't want to be bringing my shit into your house. You know, my shit is my shit. However, the way that it came across was so different. I I had to physically distance myself to her. And I thought she hated me because I dropped contact immediately. And the next time I would speak to her was not really in the best of situations. You know, not from either of us, just in the situation that we met in, where it's just like things could have easily gone a different way. But we've spoken about that, and she's gone. The only thing that she asks is that I just be honest with her the next time, because she had no idea what was going on. Like, she thought I was just hanging out in the city, had a bunch of friends. She had no idea what I was doing. And I said, good, that was the point. I did not want you getting involved with this, because unfortunately I was that bad influence on quite a few other people. As soon as they saw what I was getting up to, they're like, oh, this seems like fun. Unfortunately, a couple of people lost their lives because of that. So whether it was through suicide or overdose, I felt either indirectly responsible or directly responsible. There really isn't two ways about that. And so, you know, with me breaking it off with Tiff, it was to try and avoid that at all costs. Considering what they had done for me, considering, you know, that they went out of their way to even buy me clothes and everything. Like, it was wicked. Like, I can't even remember how long I was staying with her at her place for, but it was just open arms. Yeah, it was unreal. You know,
you ended up in a toxic relationship at that point?
Yeah, I think it was like a year or a bit later, met with my now ex, and again, I wish no ill will on people because of how bad I was, but both of us, it starts off good, and then it becomes hell on earth. So she had, I think it was type 2 manic bipolar. And I said to her, I can deal with the manic bipolar. You know, I can sit back and I can give you space. I can help you do what you need to do. But yeah, that's when I found out that she was going around to quite a few people saying, oh, you're not allowed to hang out with him anymore. And I went, who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah.
And at that point, I had fucked off to New South Wales because I just wanted to go somewhere. I just wanted to do one last freight hop. And when I got back, her family was like real, like, turn your nose up at people family. And both of us were kind of into the same music. Both of us were into the same kind of like goth fashion style and punk rock stuff. And so whatever she saw in me was kind of like that world that she was after. But she was full like straight edge, came from a very wealthy family, very well off. And I said to her, you don't want to do this. Like, stay in your world. I'm happy to hang out, happy to have fun, but stay in your world. And she's like, no. And it's like, all right, cool. We'll see if we can make this work then. When she met Tiff, because me and Tiff were still good friends at that point, even though like I had broken it off, we were still happy to hang out with each other and stuff. And so my ex just immediately took that same stance of, no, you stay away. And it's like, who in the fuck do you think you are? I should have let Tiff beat the shit out of her. I really should. Like, that had to be the angriest I'd ever seen her. And, you know, my mate was there. You know, we just stopped the fight from happening entirely. And so we had to pull my ex aside and go, enough's enough. Like, you don't go around telling people what to do. Not in this world. And she ended up getting... And so
still pretty self-destructive.
Yeah, very self-destructive. And that poor woman too, like, if she hadn't met me again, probably wouldn't have gone the way that it did. It's all fun and games until people get hurt. And so eventually it became such a hellish, toxic relationship where we were pulling and kicking at each other and like all that stuff. And eventually it's like she just left. And I didn't know what else to do because it was just like,
do you think you knew how to love at that point?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
It was just kind of a...
It was just two very, very self-destructive people that somehow found each other. And nowadays I kind of joke about it with Tiff, saying that it was Sid and Nancy. It really was. You know, if I hadn't have gotten her onto the drugs, then would it have been different? If I hadn't have introduced her to like LSD and all this other stuff, you know, like I gave her a first DMT trip and everything like that. So, you know, there was so many things, but we spent 7 years together.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't spend 7 years together without like building a life together and all that other stuff. But, you know, it's just found out that she cheated on me. I cheated on her. It was just very, very toxic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we get to coming back to the hero of the story, Tiff.
Oh,
You get back with Tiff. You get to meet little Ashley.
yeah, man.
First time. What was it like meeting Ash for the first time?
Meeting her for the first time was just hilarious.
So how old was she at this point?
I think she had just turned 4.
Yeah.
Or she was like 4.5.
Mm.
I'm guessing Tiff had gone through a similar situation.
Very
Somebody
much, yeah.
very toxic as well.
Well, not just toxic, but just incredibly abusive.
Yeah.
So, it's not my story to tell.
It's all good. Yeah.
But
Anyway,
he left Ashley traumatized. Like, she would not speak to anybody. So I had heard all about Ashley since the day she was born. Like, I heard about the pregnancy. Everybody thought she was mine. It was hilarious.
Yep.
Me and Tiff still joke about it to this day because there was only one person that knew the truth. And he came around to visit me when I was living down in Gippsland, and he said, "Hey, man, look, this is the situation that's going on with Tiff. He's concerned about what's going on." And I couldn't risk doing anything stupid at this point. Like, I was genuinely actively trying to figure out what the hell was going on with me, and I didn't want to hurt her because again, like, the way I left it was that I'm not dragging her into this world. And so when I was living with my mum in South Australia, I contacted her just to be like, "Hey, what's going on? Look, I know it's been a while since we talked, but I'm genuinely wanting to catch up. Was there anything that I did that hurt you? Like, I'm trying to rectify my life, and I'm going to start here with the last thing that I remember before I can't remember shit." And she was explaining to me everything that had happened, and I went, "Holy crap, so he was telling the truth." Because it just sounds so unbelievable that somebody so kind and so generous and just coming from such a really nice family ended up with somebody who was doing the same shit I was.
Yep.
It's like, I didn't know how I wanted to feel about that. So it's like, look, screw it. You know what? I have work back in Victoria. Let me get in contact with somebody. Let me see if I can get a couple of days shift so that way I can pay for a flight back. But I'll come down. We'll come say hello. We'll come catch up. I want to meet Ashley. Now, I was warned, though, that she does not trust men because of what happened. And I rock up, and I've got my purple mohawk at this point. I've got my leather jacket, my freaking raver pants on, and I have my skateboard and guitar with me. And she pretty much fell on the floor and gone, "You haven't changed." I said, give it a minute. And Ashley was asleep in the car. And so when she's woken up, like, Tiff, like, her eyes widened, didn't know what the reaction was going to be. And I looked in the mirror there and I said, "Oh, hi, Ashley. Big Ash, little Ash." And that was it, apparently. That's all it took.
Yep.
And she was like, "Oh, okay." And went back to sleep. And Tiff just jaw hit the floor and went,
"Holy shit.
That's a first in the last 4 years."
Yep.
And I went, "What?" She's like, "No, hold up. I'm going to have to show you a couple of things." So DHS was involved. A whole mess of other things were involved. They needed me to do a urine test and, like, a few other things. And I said, "Look, you're welcome to test me all you want. I understand that you guys are just trying to make sure that this isn't
a safe situation."
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I said, "Look, happy to." It's just like, "Hang on, wait, are you somebody new?" And I'm like, No. I'm old.
I'm back, baby.
I'm back." And that was a really funny dynamic. But, she wouldn't let anybody near him. And I actually would hear more about this from Dan, not Fingers, but her mate Dan.
Yep.
Yeah. And he would fill me in on some of the, some of the details that had been left out, being like, nobody could go near her, you couldn't touch her. If you raised your voice, she shivered and quaked. Like, it was bad. And I went, "Oh, okay." And so...
And now she walks past and punches me in the head.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. It was such an interesting feeling when I first met her, because that same day, once we pulled up to the house, she's like, "Hey, can you lift me up onto the monkey bars?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool."
Yep.
Her whole family, jaws hit the floor.
Yeah.
And even DHS was like, "What did you do?" I said, "Nothing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just said, "Hi."
Good energy.
Yeah.
Good energy. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point. She could see something that nobody else could see.
Yeah.
And then Luna come along, like,
Dude.
mate, she's your little hurricane.
Oh, dude. Oh, giving it back to me tenfold.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
Luna is your punishment for being a shit kid.
oh, yeah. Yeah. So, lucky.
Love you,
Ashley.
Luna, if you listen to this in a
Yeah.
few years' time, but Jesus Christ, you're a full-on kid.
Dude. So got really lucky with Ashley. Ashley's like, she's turning 13 this year, man. I'm loving watching her become this, like, just.
So you're in a very feminine household.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Me and the bird, the only male.
Yeah.
I specifically got a male bird for that reason.
Yep.
I love my bird. When Luna come along, like, we had just moved back to Melton because it was closer to work for me, and me and Tiff had been talking for a little while, and she was like, "Look, really happy with how everything's going. Would you like to start like a family? Would you like to grow the family? And I was a bit like, you know what, I do. I've always wanted to have like a big family. We went and talked about it for a bit, and she said, look, you're doing really well with Ashley. I don't want Ashley to grow up as an only child. And if she doesn't start a family with me, she doesn't think that it's just going to be her and Ashley. Even if things go bad between us, like, she hopes that it always goes civil at the very least. And I thought, you know what? If there was ever a time, I'm young, things are looking up, got a stable partner, stable household, let's give this a crack.
Future in it, that's for sure.
Yeah. And when I found out that she was pregnant, I jumped for joy. I was so ecstatic and then fucking terrified. You know what they don't fucking warn you about? The goddamn sass. Holy shit. I'm hungry. There's no grapes. You better find grapes. Okay, I am heading out for grapes. Oh, man. Oh, it was hilarious. But
So was becoming a dad the first time you really felt needed?
no, it was a little bit before that, actually, where, you know, at my father's funeral, my sister was taking it pretty hard. You know, both of us had a bit of a touchy relationship growing up, but we had that mutual understanding of, like, we're family. So my sister was taking it pretty hard, and we got fucking wasted. It was good, but that was kind of that first moment where it's just like, okay, you need me, I need you. You know, let's try to connect as a family. And then when Simon would ride himself off on his bike, my mum needed me. Like, I dropped everything and I said, Ma, I'm coming in, even if it's just to help you get through this and keep you company. And then with Tiff, the only thing that she had asked me was, hey, if you're going to come down, if you're going to be a part of this, you have to know my focus is Ashley. And anything comes between that, you're done. You and me are done. I want to stay friends, but if the relationship isn't going to work, it's not going to work. And I said, oh, okay. So when Luna come along, it's true what they say. You don't get it until you hold that child. I don't know if it's true for everybody, but when I held her for the first time, you know, I got to deliver her, which is, you know, the most exciting part about that, because there was no doctors or nurses in the room. And I've gone, pretty sure she's dilating. Because I'm fascinated by the fucking gory and morbid. So it freaks Tiff out how much I actually know about pregnancy and stuff like that. Well, I mean, she fell pregnant. I'm going to do my research. I don't want nothing to go wrong.
I was smart enough not to watch that the second time round. I remember when I was working in the oil and gas industry, I was working with a lot of catalysts and whatnot that go inside the reactors to dry the gases and whatnot. A part of the dust and whatnot can make mutagenic and tranogenic.
Oh, so you're paranoid as fuck.
Fuck yeah. And I watched Daisy come out and I'm like, oh, fuck.
It's a fucking alien.
Oh, no.
They don't look like humans when they first pop out.
No.
Oh, my God.
Oh, dude.
Daisy come out crying and said, don't worry, you weren't the only one.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, scary
moment.
moment.
Exciting.
You don't expect that to happen.
No, man.
I'm not going to describe it because that's something that a father needs to experience himself.
They really do, yeah.
But fuck,
It's terrifying, man.
it's terrifying. Then bringing a baby, shithead Daisy, into the
brutal.
world changes you, changes
does.
who you are.
Yeah.
It changes your chemical structure. You know, it's not just you. You've got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So were you afraid of
That's
becoming?
that's primal shit, yeah.
Were you afraid of becoming a father that you experienced?
Yeah, it is funny that, you know, before...
That was, how did I read that?
Yeah, you got it.
Got it. What kind of father are you determined not to be?
It's funny you actually mention that and say that, because literally last week, a couple of days before the meeting, Tiff turns around to me and says, you know, I know you very well. I know what your biggest fear is. Your biggest fear is becoming just like your dad. And she hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
My biggest fear is going down that path.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want the girls to be like 15, 16-year-old, not feeling that they can come to me.
Yeah.
Like, I've said it to Ashley, you know, now that she's going into high school, I fully expect her to want to go to parties, and I fully expect her to want to do this, but I want her to be brutally honest with me. Like, if you're fucked up, call me. I ain't going to yell at you. Mum will.
Yeah. I've said to my daughters that the only success I've had in my life is that they will call me instead of saying, I'm scared to call dad.
That's the one.
That's the only thing I've done right.
Yeah, and that's all I ask for. You know, I'm not going to profess to be a perfect father. Like, holy crap, I am learning as I go.
Oh, we all are.
Yeah.
If you find yourself fighting a lot of that old wiring.
So much, man. Oh, and trying to quit ciggies as well. Oh, like I've been a lot better with my emotions around that. But again, I've got a really supportive partner, and Ashley is just. I got very lucky with Ashley, where she's a very cluey, very switched on kid. Luna is just, oh, Jesus.
Great kid, though.
Giving up smoking, man. Just give up cold turkey. I tried Champax. I tried replacing it with chewing gum.
It doesn't work.
Champax changed me as a person. Become a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I think my ex can attest to that.
Yeah.
Champax was not good.
It is getting to that point where I'm going to have to go cold turkey with it. But again, like, I'm not prepared.
You've got to keep telling yourself, I don't smoke anymore. I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah, that's it. That's the
And
one.
then eventually, I couldn't even imagine picking up a cigarette now. But I smoked fucking since I was 14.
Yeah.
Used to roll up paper behind the fucking schoolhouse. Then we figured out fucking leaves. You dry leaves and fucking disgusting. We roll up cardboard and make cigars out of fucking cardboard.
Yeah.
And then I become stealing Dad's fucking tobacco, and he cottoned onto that. So he started buying TaylorMade so he'd keep track of it. So I realised if I took out the whole row.
Yes. Yes. My father used to do the same, buy the big cartons.
And then when he cottoned onto that, it was I'd put on the overalls and fucking have greasy overalls and walk up to the fucking tobacco shop. And
big bloke like you.
Smoko time and get me smokes and get me a little 10-pack for fucking $3 or whatever it was.
Fuck yeah.
Hang on, get back onto the kids, mate. Like, what do your daughters get that you didn't?
Fucking where do I begin? It's easy to list off what they don't have yet. My mum and dad tried to provide us with a household, but something that I definitely want to be providing them with is not just a household, but a space that they can truly call home.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had video games and all that stuff growing up, but it's a case of if Luna needs shoes, if Ashley needs shoes, we get them for them immediately.
Yeah.
If they need anything, there's no hesitation.
They're a priority,
They're,
which you never felt like.
Yeah, and it's more than just a priority. It's a case of it's never held above them either.
Yeah.
You know, I remember there was this one year for Christmas when my mother lay-byed a bunch of BMX and motocross stuff for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, as soon as I acted up, it got taken from me.
Yeah.
And I refused to do that.
Yeah.
You know, Ashley's never been allowed social media, but we got her a tablet because she was like, hey, all my friends are playing these games. I'd like to get these games. So it's like, all right, we'll get you like a tablet that at least if you break it, I can easily replace it. And she absolutely awesome with it. So now she's got a phone and she's very responsible with that stuff.
Daisy's always been responsible. Ezzy was a fucking nightmare.
I fully expect that with
Breaks
Luna.
just a
Yeah.
Screens every fucking week, it felt like.
Yeah.
And
I
it's not-
fully expect that with Luna. But Luna's doing the same thing, you know. We've been kicking back playing Ride 3. She loves video games. She loves just playing games with me. And loves it when I pick up the guitar and just jam out a little bit. So it's like just little moments like that where I hope that, you know, when they grow up, they have that creativity. They have that feeling that they can go, hey, I'm allowed to do me.
Yep.
So this was a hard pivot point in your life, mate. You went from holding a knife over your dad to holding your daughters.
Yeah.
What was the big change in you?
Fucking everything. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. Just massive ego death, dude. When I held
Good
Luna,
way to put it. Yeah.
a massive ego death.
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, nothing in the world mattered. I will plow through any person that tries to stop me from being a father to those two children. To the point where...
There's a line from Ryan Reynolds. Have you heard he talks about, he goes, he met his wife and he loved his wife. His wife was the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. He goes, and she's just this amazing woman. And he goes, I would do anything for her. He goes, and then I held my daughter. He goes, and I would shoot that bitch in the face. He goes, if it meant I could save my daughter.
Yeah, that sums it up. Yeah. Woo! I like that. I like that a lot. That's pretty much it, yeah. So
Yeah.
I give credit to the nurses, right? I was terrified to bathe Luna. Like, I was so terrified being like just this like really rough guts kind of kid. I've never been delicate my entire life. All of a sudden I'm holding this other life in my hand.
This thing that you can break.
Yeah, absolutely. And the nurse comes up to me and goes, what are you waiting for? Grabs my hands, puts them into the water and starts showing me how to bathe her. And I was like, I'm fucking terrified. Like, I want no harm to befall this child. And, you know, it's been a bit touch and go with me and Ashley because we've been brutally honest with Ashley. Like, every now and again she turns around to me and goes, hey, look, I know you don't like talking about my dad, but like, I kind of want to talk about it just a little bit. I want to pick your brain. And I go, look, it's a sensitive topic for your mother. Anything you need to ask me, if I can't answer, I'll sit down with mum and I'll talk about that. But with Luna, holy crap, she's just 0 to 100. I'm pretty sure she idles at 85, you know? But she's taken after me so well. And just that pivoting moment where it's like, there's been a few moments at the primary school where I've rocked up like 2 minutes late and the principal happens to be the one on the guard. And I've got problems with this principal, just in general. Just like one of those people that, like, I feel like you turn your nose up at people just because of the way you look at me. And there was almost this one moment where she stood in front of me and it's like, you were between me and my child. Move. And what came out of my mouth was, you're in my way. And I don't mean it.
Yeah, that's what it came across.
Yeah, like I didn't mean to sound aggressive, but it's just like, look, I'm treating you like anybody else in this world right now. Principal or it doesn't matter to me. You are currently between me and my child. That's something that I do try to remind myself of as well, is like I am trying to genuinely learn how to be a little bit softer about that, where I'm not intending to be violent or mean towards you. It's just I have one goal right now.
The next one is breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
So do you forgive your father for what he did?
Oh God, no.
Do you feel like you understand him a bit more though?
It's a bit of a...
As a dad, from a father's perspective, no?
So, two sides to the same coin, right? On one side, he's passed. I won't piss on his grave. I'm not going to sit there and badmouth him just because I know that he can't come up and whoop my ass. But it's the lessons that I take away from that's what not to do, that is what to do. What not to do is to fly off the rails at your kids because they didn't put the dishes away, and take it out on the partner because you can't beat a child, which has left my mum torn. It's always a touchy subject. And me and my family, we can't even spend Christmas together because we won't talk to each other. We weren't socialized as a kid. On the other side of the coin, though, I do aspire to take certain traits from him. Always show up. Be that bloke that can be relied on if your mates are in trouble. I love bikes, he loves bikes. He's the reason why I love bikes. He's the reason why I have this bike. And so it's like two sides to each coin. I can't forgive him for being shitty, but I also remind myself that that's how I feel about it. It may be very different.
Do you think being a better father is part of your healing from how you were raised?
No, I try not to put them into the same bucket. However...
Going back to that, do you know how he was treated when he was a young fella as well?
Yeah, and see, that's the kicker there too.
Because...
Generational, mate.
That's exactly right.
Generational. Yeah. I never really felt the love from my dad, but I do now because I've forced it into it. It's okay to tell each other that we love one another.
Yeah.
But back when I was younger, I don't remember that a hell of a lot from my dad.
For me, I understand his upbringing. I understand that he was sent off to a boys' home. There's lots of mates. And it really is intergenerational. Like, he carried a lot of pain and hate and trauma.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it fell to me. So for me, I want to be the one to recognize and go...
So you're pretty proud of who you are now?
Oh, sometimes. No, brutal honesty, yeah. I'm proud of how far I've come in such a short amount of time. I haven't had the luxury to have any other leniency.
Yep.
I don't have the luxury of going, oh, that's my bad. Give me 2 weeks and I'll deal with that. No, I'm trying to teach these kids. So I want to be that influence on them, that they don't just see this big, awful man.
Yep.
I want them to go, yeah, that's my dad. He's a goofball. I love him.
Yep. Yeah, he's a basket case.
Yeah, he's a basket case.
He wears a big fucking badge and it's...
Yeah, exactly. I want them to have a laugh about it because they're going to be adults one day, and I want to be able to have that relationship with them.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring this back to something that happened between you and I. I picked you out. You were still fairly new in the club and said, hey, I want you to step up in the secretary role.
Yeah.
You didn't realise why I was doing it at the time, but what did it mean to you at the time when I asked?
Oh, dude, it gave me something to look forward to. It really did.
Yeah.
Something that I could help with, not in the possessive sense, like not, oh, great, I get to have something to do now, but it was more like, this is really cool. I actually get to help build something, and I learned a lot too. Like, there is a lot that goes on just to get something off the ground.
Yeah.
That was awesome experience too. And like seeing that you're not just walking into something, like you're actually interacting with it. That was an awesome experience. I'm hoping that I can like learn enough about technology and computers to be able to go, hey, I'll throw my hand up for that again, because now I actually know what the fuck I'm doing.
I can do this better.
Yeah, I can now do this better. And
technology's come a long way.
And that's actually what I really appreciated about that. It's just like, okay, now I have something to strive for. I want to do that better next time. Not for me, but for the benefit of everybody else. And that's what I really appreciated from that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that was the intention, but
We had a conversation at 4 a.m. at one of the press runs that was, I gave you that role to give you some ownership in the club of you're not just a member, like you're part of this shit. You're part of the brotherhood. You're going to help build this with us. And yeah, I think your realization that morning during that conversation, you were like, motherfucker, like at that point you had to step away for work, and it was because, I'm not saying the role with the responsibility, but you kind of took on more responsibility in your personal life with your career as well at that point.
I remember going back then when you stepped out of the secretary role.
Yeah.
I was actually scared that you were going to step away from
But no, it was the other way. You were going harder into work, and that went really well at the time too.
It was going really well until they decided to literally fire all of the executives, and I went, oh great. So all that fucking hard work for nothing. Yeah, right. No warning, no nothing. But yeah, really stuck out to me too, because that was that night where I realized that I actually have mates. Not just mates, but brothers. Not just brothers, but family.
Yeah, I remember watching the penny drop.
Oh,
like I was literally like, he finally fucking gets, like we'd bust our balls for each other. Yeah, like
broke me, dude.
Yeah.
Like it broke me, and I haven't really settled with it yet.
No, that's good.
That's why this year I'm making it a
But it was growth.
Yeah.
Like you felt the growth in that moment.
Oh, like the fact that I could be surrounded by a bunch of blokes, feel no judgment, and also at the same time have a laugh when we all fall over, pick each other up and go, all right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So providing for your girls, bigger than any title. Yeah. Work did really well at that point. So younger you was chasing chaos, and now you're chasing stability. How did that shift happen?
Dude, more than just stability. I'm chasing
generational wealth.
Generational wealth. Yeah.
A future for yourself and for your kids. And
you're finally looking further
hard
than just what's in front of you. Like you've got that horizon.
That's the one. That's why I pushed myself so hard at work. And now that I've got that pretty locked in, I'm wrapped, because now I get to see the girls grow up with not just stability, but knowing that one day I get to turn around to them and go, guess what? All this is yours now. Have fun.
Yeah.
You know, whether you succeed or fail does not matter, but just having a go.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the mentality that I've been going around as well. And that's what, again, I really took away from that secretary role, was just have a go. Just have a crack at it. You know, if it doesn't work out, okay, where did we go wrong? Let's figure that out again. And so really pushing myself this year for just more of an active effort within that personal growth, because, you know, me and Tiff aren't getting any younger. Ashley's turning 13 this year. You know, Luna's doing amazing in school.
Fun's just starting.
Oh, yeah. And we sat down and we said, look, we want to buy a house. And it's for them, not for us. Like me and Tiff, we're pretty happy being like easygoing, pretty cruisy. We don't care where we're calling home so long as we're together. But we want to make sure that those kids don't have to pack up and move. And we want to be able to retire and go, hey, this is yours now. Do whatever you need to do with it.
So the next one's saying about your career, but can you give us a little breakdown of what you actually do on a day-to-day?
Going right back to that pride at the start we talked about.
Yeah, so I try to teach people about my family history, not, you know, with my father, but my mother's side, the Aboriginal side. Our family, we run a company, a registered Aboriginal party, and I've been doing it since 2009, since the very inception of the corporation, you know, going to the meetings and everything like that. And that's why, you know, being a part of this club, you know, I'm used to politics. But wasn't actually allowed to become employed until I turned 18. So started off doing like the archaeology stuff. We went out as field representatives, helping them to pretty much dig holes.
Identifying cultural significant things.
Yeah, kind of.
Trees and...
It was a lot different back then. It was more of a aggressive approach where we actually nickname it artifact mining. It's a bit of a running joke amongst all of us here in Victoria, is that they just want to see the artifacts gone. They have no care for the actual like preservation of it. But what I do nowadays is I educate people on this stuff. You know, we'll get called up from like local council, state government, developers, like these really like high, powerful people. And we'll also get called up by like kindergarten, schools, VCE students, sustainability, bioconservational people. And they just want to know a little bit more about like how we view it, how we would be interacting with this stuff because
Yeah.
it wasn't taught in schools. There's not textbooks for this stuff.
Yeah, it's like in New Zealand, I was taught Māori and I was taught Māori culture and all of that. You never got that in Australia.
No.
People were frowned upon.
Well, I've actually had this conversation recently with my sisters because they've got young girls in school now, and they're like, we were taught the first fleet and the names of all the ships, captain, and now it's like, oh no, we don't talk about that. We talk about Aboriginal culture. Like, and I was like, but that's our history. Like, I know it's not,
No,
it's not
absolutely.
fucking shiny and beautiful, but it's our history. Like,
Absolutely.
Fucking criminals.
yeah.
No, and that's where I draw the line as well. And I'm, I guess, a bit harsh about it. Like, I love watching teachers white knuckle the second we start getting into that conversation too, because they're like, that's not what we're teaching. And I go, well, it's Australia's history, man.
That's
Like,
it.
if you want me to teach you how to fucking rub two sticks together and make fire, cool. But if you want me to teach you how you get me,
Yeah.
this is how you
Yeah,
get
it's
me.
both, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
both histories.
Yeah.
It's a part of Australia's history. So, one of those things that actually today is a prime example where a bunch of VCE Year 12 students, right, and they're talking about sustainability and sort of the roles of the Registered Aboriginal Party under the Heritage Act and archaeology and stuff. Now, I just started talking about plants because I was like, well, if you want to understand my culture, then you have to understand plants, fish, animals, celestial alignments, cycles, and stuff like that. And they're like, oh. It's like, yeah, you think my people are just like smacking stones together? Well, man, we go KFC. And I explained it to them exactly like that. It's like, oh, where do you go get food? And they're like, oh, we go to the shops. Where do you think I go get food? Yeah, shops, mate.
Yeah.
So how does your career represent you now?
Oh, fucking, it's annoying, I'll tell you that. When your CEOs and your board of directors are your family, it makes it for a very interesting family dynamics where lots of conflict of interest. There's lots of nepotism that happens as well. And legally speaking, we're pretty much the only industry that can actually get away with nepotism. Like if they turn around and say, hey, we want you as CEO, cool, I become CEO. Or if they turn around and say, hey, we need you over here as a manager, I become manager. And I have problems with that naturally because it doesn't allow for natural progression. Like, say, you blokes were to step into that industry. It's shit that we do addressed. But that's kind of what it represents to me personally, is like that stupid duality between my two worlds.
But you've grown a lot in this role as well, haven't you?
Oh,
Like, you've gone from where you started to where you are now. Yeah.
Glorified ditch digger to now I sit and have cups of tea with fucking like real
The
fancy
premiers,
premier. Yeah. It's a weird feeling, especially like in those moments I sit there and go, you have no idea
Who I was.
yeah. It's like I'm the kind of people you don't shake hands with. Like I'm looking at your pockets right now.
Yeah. So what does being a good man mean to you now?
Just being a good person, like just
What does that mean though? What's a good person?
just being the best possible version of yourself. Everybody talks about, give respect, get respect. People talk about, looking out for everybody else. But for me, I think that is more than just words or walking the talk. It's more about like when my bike broke down, you said, hey man, I'll come grab it, get you back up on the road. And I'm still waiting on a moment where I can repay that kindness. Whether you like it or not.
You don't need to, mate. You don't buy this brotherhood, brother.
That's it.
No, and that's kind of the point. Is like, I know you aren't expecting
There will come a time when you'll go, I can fucking do that.
and I look forward to those days. And that's what I think what it means to just be a good person, is looking forward to just paying that respect forward. And when it comes to trying to challenge myself to definitely be the best possible version of myself, just having nice clothes or having just nicer things. Not for me, but because I want to try and emulate the person that I'm trying to be.
So it kind of leads into the next question here. So if Ashley and Luna were hearing this, I hope they do one day.
I hope
Ashley
so
and
too.
Luna, hey girls, what do you want them to know?
That despite everything that I could possibly do wrong, there is no way that I would ever allow myself to go down that path ever again.
That's good.
If you could sit down with 14-year-old Ash.
I would crack his front teeth out. Yeah. I hate past me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What would you tell him? Would he listen?
If he were to listen, I would tell him that everything is going to be all right. That the pain doesn't go away, but you find ways that aren't so destructive. That you don't have to hate yourself. If that's something that could be spoken to, that'd be all. But I would seriously crack him in the front teeth. I wasn't a nice person back then, and I regret it to my very core. Yeah.
So we touched on this before, but I'm betting you're pretty proud of the man you're becoming.
I hope that I can keep building into that as well, not just for my sake, not just for the kids' sake, but for the people that I surround myself with.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy anymore. You know, I don't want to be that person where everybody goes, shit, we don't know what to do.
You are an energy. You walk into an atmosphere with the rust nuts. You're an energy.
Yeah. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I've watched you grow over the last 5-6 years of your life, and I'm incredibly proud of the work you've done and how far you've come, and the fact that you were servicing your bike this week, man. Yeah, little things like forward planning, and like actually I can see the guy that was living day to day to now the guy who's building a future for his kids, and I hope you understand that that's fucking something we're all proud of.
I greatly appreciate that, and that's all that's all I want out of myself now, is just to be able to be that person that can have people go, hey.
Yeah, good job.
You know, realistically, at the end of the day, I got so much more learning to do.
Yeah,
we all do,
mate. There's no such. The day you stop learning,
that's the one.
Now I'm going to look across there. I know that we've been going for a while, and if you're still in there, listeners and watchers, I'm going to ask the question: is there anything you think we haven't talked about today that we should cover?
Oh, look, I'm a fucking chatterbox.
No, you're a very fluent talker.
And most of this will probably get edited out.
No, I don't.
No, not at all.
I don't think it will. This is probably one of our realest. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. No, that's awesome. Honestly, just the day that I met you, man, that was really the day I turned it all around. No, it really did.
Gives me shivers.
Well,
it was a good day, man. The world's aligned, man. It's just the way it happens sometimes.
I was just so natural. It was so good. You know, I didn't know who to speak to, and the biggest bloke that I see comes up and goes, "Hey, you hungry?" And then
definitely a presence.
Yeah, and then meeting Jeff as well, especially in that time where it's just like I heard what you were hoping to build, and then when I heard that, you know, I got home to Tiff and I was just like, I met some really fucking good blokes today. I think I'm gonna get social media.
So it's my fault.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
you get to do it,
mate. You're on the show. What does Twist the Throttle mean to you?
That hopefully somebody listening into this stuff, even if
no, not the podcast,
the term Twist the Throttle.
Yeah. When you hear Twist the Throttle, what picture comes to your mind?
Open road,
freedom,
like nothing between you and the road, just bliss, just true bliss. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Well,
mate,
you broke the cycle, brother, and
that's no small thing.
That is a fucking huge thing. And I thank you for coming on to the podcast.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks, boss.
Everything we do together, and once again, thank you, watchers and listeners.
CYZ. Thanks for riding with us today on Twist the Throttle. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your crew. Remember, no matter how tough the road gets, you're never riding alone. Stay safe, stay open, catch you on the next ride. Keep that throttle twisted.